Hi everyone, Christian Screen, CEO over at datalakehouse.io. Today we're going to do a whiteboarding session to give you a little bit of an explainer about what datalakehouse.io is, why it was built, and how it can benefit you and your organization. If you take a look here, we're starting at where some of the modern data lives today, which is in a data lake storage area, also known as object storage. And so this has come a long way in the last decade, where we had concepts similar to Hadoop file system and so forth. And if you look at what we're showing here, we're showing that we're getting our data from all different facets potentially of our business or our organization. We can get log data coming from our web applications and other applications that run the business. We can get JSON data from third-party vendors or other APIs. We have traditional CSV and Excel files coming from other departments in our business. And then we also have other files like video and audio files. And one thing that we like to explain to some of the folks we talk to about data and having a great data analytics infrastructure and architecture is to eliminate the confusion. This area, which is called object storage, some people refer to as a data lake, but it's really data lake storage. So in all your future conversations with your friends and your colleagues, when you're talking about having a data lake, or you're talking about anything related to a data lake architecture, try to really refer to this as data lake storage. It's really going to eliminate some confusion for you and your team and the folks you're talking to. The next area that we're focused on is the application tier. Now, before we go any further, the ultimate goal of what we're building and what we've built is really to provide information and actionable insights to the business, thus creating business value. And one of those primary areas where the business or your organization runs today is in the application layer. And so that's traditionally backed by a database. And that database could be from Oracle. It could be a Postgres database, which we see a lot of these days. It could be Teradata. It could be SQL Server from Microsoft. And these usually back some type of application. So that might be an application that you've built internally or in-house, or an application that you've acquired over time. Maybe that's an ERP system, or a CRM system. It could be a point of sale system, which we see a lot of these days. And we actually have connectors for all these types of applications. And also, in the modern data stacks, we have in the cloud SaaS-based applications. So this might include your Salesforce.com or perhaps NetSuite, one of the first purpose-built cloud-based ERP systems. Now, traditionally, we're trying to get information out of these systems, and one of the biggest benefits of getting information out of these systems in a readily available manner is to provide a single source of truth for your organization. So let's go over here, kind of off to the right side, and you're going to have consumers of information. So these might be individuals, they could be other systems, applications, APIs that are within your organization or perhaps even externally from your organization. And one of the best practices is to have what we call a single source of truth repository. And this is where traditionally some expertise is involved to model this data in such a way that it's consumable by a large part of your organization, but it can also be departmentally built. And so we refer to this as a warehouse or a data warehouse. And today, this layer is oftentimes in the cloud. So you have vendors like Snowflake, you have BigQuery, you have Teradata with their Vantage, and there's some other players here that we won't go into right now. And so with these different types of cloud data warehouses, one of the objectives is for the consumers to be able to get to the data, to access the data in a very common way so that you have a single view of your business. And so this might be the marketing team, this could be the finance team, different consumers. And they could be using different tools. They could be using applications such as Tableau. So we'll put Tableau here. It could be Power BI. They could be writing SQL directly against this. So there's all these different types of methods of getting at the data once it's been centralized inside of a single source of truth repository. And one of the tenets we love to abide by and see customers doing is actually do proper business data modeling. So you might have something like a dimensional model on top of this. So this would be where you might have a Ralph Kimball style model. But we're also big fans of Data Vault 2.0 type modeling. And so these types of infinite scale type models allow the business to really look at things and slice and dice the data. And then once you've modeled your data warehouse that way, anyone from the business can access the data through that lens. This is also great for machine learning workloads and things of that nature. So there's a real benefit of storing data in a centralized repository for the business. Now, how do you get the data from point A to point B? So if we're trying to get the data from our data lake storage, from our applications, we need a conduit. And that conduit is datalakehouse.io. And so inside of Data Lakehouse, we're able to provide this capability to synchronize, replicate, otherwise bring the data from these disparate source systems through connectors that are pre-built, best practice, no code required from your analytics team or your data scientist. It's all managed by datalakehouse.io, and we're able to centralize and move that data in a very continuous way into your single source of truth repository. And this gives you the great ability and flexibility to continue on with your analytics endeavors and really focus on the high value targets your business is after. We've also built several other capabilities in the product to make managing the data for your analytics team that much easier. So we have systems such as Snowflake usage analytics. We have a concept called reverse terraforming. And we have other concepts and pre-built APIs and pre-built analytics that allow you to go ahead and get a view of some of these popular applications like Snowflake, Salesforce.com or NetSuite already view that data, so you can potentially start looking at it right away out of the box. So this is just a little preview of how datalakehouse.io works, how it can benefit your business, and of course, overall, why we built this Data Lakehouse architecture so that your business and your organization can benefit from it. Look forward to talking with you and sharing some more insights through Data Lakehouse. Stay tuned for some of our upcoming videos where we dive into some of these details with a little bit more depth.